12:15 a.m., Pennsylvania. Elias sat in the living room of his dimly lit apartment, the blue light from his laptop reflecting off his tired eyes. Outside, a torrential rain hammered against the window pane. Suddenly, there was a sharp knock at the door. He wasn't expecting anyone, especially not at this hour. He peered through the peephole. The hallway was empty, save for a small, mustard-yellow package sitting near the stairs. Elias hesitated, then brought the parcel inside. His heart skipped a beat when he saw the label. No return address, just his name and address handwritten in jagged black ink. Inside was an antique brass pocket watch. It wasn't ticking, but behind the cracked glass face was a small, handwritten note. Stop before time runs out. 12:30 a.m. A prank, he muttered, trying to steady his breath. But then the watch hands began to move. They weren't moving forward, they were spinning backward with a violent mechanical grind. With every backward second, the temperature in the room plummeted. A thin layer of frost began to bloom on the coffee table. Elias shoved the watch into a drawer, but the sound didn't stop. Tick, tick, tick. It felt like the walls themselves were pulsing with the sound. He reached for his phone. No signal. He looked at his laptop and his heart froze. Every window he had open was gone. In their place was a single word in bold, blood-red letters. Run. 12:45 a.m. The rain stopped abruptly, replaced by a silence so heavy it felt deafening. Elias looked out the window. Standing under the flickering glow of a street lamp was a tall, shadowed figure in a vintage overcoat and a wide-brimmed fedora. The man was holding a pocket watch, exactly like the one in the drawer. Suddenly the power cut out. Total darkness. Elias flicked on his phone's flashlight and yanked open the drawer. The watch hands were now perfectly still. 12:50 a.m. 12:55 a.m. A thunderous pounding erupted at the door. Boom! 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 Elias panicked. He grabbed the watch and bolted for the door, desperate to escape into the hallway. But when he threw the door open, the hallway was gone. In its place was a corridor that seemed to stretch for miles, an infinite loop of doors and shadows. He spun around to run back into his room, but his apartment was empty. No furniture, no laptop, just a void. He looked down at the watch in his hand. The time was 1 a.m. The next morning. When the police arrived at the apartment, there were no signs of a struggle. The door was locked from the inside. The only thing left in the middle of the bare floor was an antique pocket watch. The forensic officer picked it up, frowning. Inside the watch cover, where a family photo would usually be, was a tiny, high-resolution picture of Elias. He looked terrified, trapped behind the glass. Engraved at the bottom were two words: permanently reserved.